Morning, good evening, good night, and wherever you are in the world. I welcome you to the ISTA webinar on e-certificates. It is actually the third in this series. We started a good year ago to advertise and then also had another one. And we are looking to bring news to you on the e-certificate system and would like to invite the labs to come and join the system as well as authorities and clients to request e-certificates due to their security features. I welcome today two people from the Secretariat, Stella and Nilam. A few of you know them. They are both in the team for the e-certificates and responsible if you are connecting with the Secretariat. I also have here Jan Wolfensberger, who I welcome very much. He is from Allgeier, our service provider on that, and the provider and developer of the software itself. Thank you, Jan, for joining us. I would like to mention that this session is recorded, and it is actually the same session as we had in the morning hours at 10 European time. You will have the same presentation. So if you were there and looked at it, don't worry, you don't get any new information on the presentations, maybe from the question and answers. And if you have questions and answers, please put them in the question and answer box on the top, and we will answer them after the presentations are done. I would like to start now with a short update on the e-certificates and share my screen with you. And just a second. You can see the cat. It's not my cat, by the way. Before someone asked after Sergio put the story of the cat. I would like to give you the overview and an update on the e-certificates. Some of you may remember from previous presentations that we did choose both paper and the e-certificates to look similar. Actually, they look the same and they have both the front and the back side. So the information on the paper certificate are in the same position on the e-certificate, and it looks pretty similar. Where for the paper certificate, you need another paper or blank papers to prepare duplicates or provisional certificates. If you have only one original, you only have one blank paper to be used to be printed on. If you have duplicates, you have more than that. And for the e-certificates on the right-hand side, there's only one original, and which is on the server, and if you have a provisional, that number is not changing. So you need only one e-certificate per original, and you can also use this before as a provisional certificate. If you used it as a provisional, the number and coding system stays the same, and that has several advantages, especially when you prepare a provisional certificate for your clients and during the shipment all the other results are coming up. You can add them, and the OIC number or BIC number and the access code stay the same for your client. So if the shipment reaches its destination, it could be that the person who is looking at the e-certificate inside the system is just displaying the original. So with all new information up to date. You may see also that there is a numbering system on the paper certificates, which is a code on the left side, which is also a number, and the code is referring to the number. Therefore, the electronic certificates, we added OIC and BIC to the number, also not to be confused if numbers are duplicating. So if you see something like OIC and BIC um, before the number, then this must be an electronic certificate. Um, Otherwise, it is not possible. And now I will come to the security features or the total security a little later, but I would like to talk about a little bit about acceptance. E-certificates, as you know, were approved by the ISTA designated authorities during the ordinary general meeting 4 of July last year. And that means they are like paper certificate, must be a mutual recognition uh, by all ISTA designated authorities because it is voted on and it is like the ISTA rules. Now you can either choose paper or e-certificates and both should be accepted. So far, we've seen no rejections by authorities. We heard in the morning that uh, Russia may not be accepting it. We don't know. We didn't hear that yet. And we advise everybody not to ask if they are accepted in those countries, but send them over. If you ask, you will always get the answer no, 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 we don't want that. And if you don't ask, that's what they get. We have also, as you may see on the bottom, a letter for the authorities available, which can be asked from the Secretariat upon request, which is summarizing all this information and the validity of these electronic certificates. It also describes to the authorities the way how to get to the information and how to verify these data and where they can find the um, one on the server, on the ISTA server. There is also a question and answer session on the ISTA website. Um, you will find that very extensive Q&A part with a link, which is given here, but also easily to be found on the ISTA website under accreditation and certificates, same place where the labs order the certificates. There are also the two tutorials which I will show today, and they describe how to fill and how to read an e-certificate. Now, we also had the first audits of ISTA accredited labs just recently who use e-certificates. And the first auditors were trained for that beginning of October. The training was on the general use of the e-certificates and what needs to be done before and during the audit by the auditors. The auditors also mentioned that they would like to promote and help to promote this system because it makes their audits also a little bit easier and more time for the laboratory. All these things are done in collaboration with the accreditation and technical department, of course. And as you may know, Stella and Neelam are in the accreditation and technical department. Anywhere they take care about this system as well. I would like to come to a point where it comes to e-certificates and shipments or paper certificates and shipments. What we have, of course, with the e-certificates is you buy them and they are immediately available on the system for you. They will be displayed as soon as you have paid for them or got the invoice. So there are no shipment costs at all, which can be for some labs also a cost saving. Shipments of paper certificates, they face in some cases a delay. A delay could be just the distance. We heard that from the first laboratory who joined the system in South Africa, that they sometimes had to wait several weeks for the shipment. The same was happening during the COVID shutdowns. Um, Not a lot of planes were going, and that meant that weeks and months could have passed until the shipment was coming to the laboratories. Other things which we just recently faced with the United States of America, when no shipments were going from Europe with no courier and no postal system because it was unclear how the tariff situation was to be handled by the couriers. And that I think we had 2 weeks in that case where no shipments were going, and that means also certificates were shipped at that time. Each shipment, since about 6 months, is also accompanied by that's a paper certificate shipment, of course, accompanied by a letter inviting all the users to the electronic certificate system and giving some more background information on that. Now, who is online in the moment? We see 9 laboratories in the moment online. It started with South Africa 6, Klein Karoo seed production, Denmark 9, Eurofins in Stein, Canada 8, CFIA in Saskatoon, India 45, East West seed in India, Finland 1, the Finnish food authorities, Kenya 1, Kefis, France 2, Geves, Sweden 2, Swedish Board of Agriculture, and India 39, TSSOCA in Hyderabad. That's the governmental laboratory in Hyderabad, in Telangana state. Now, Geves is mentioned in orange here, which means that Geves is on the fully automated system, and Jan will give some information on how that works a little later as well. We have in final testing also a number of other laboratories. That is Japan 6, China 13, France 8, Spain 1, France 3, Russia 5, US 12, New Zealand 1, South Africa 5, and Australia 2. And with Russia 5, you see that even Russian labs are looking into that. So it may not be the case that it is totally true that Russia is not accepting them when they are self inside the system. Until yesterday, we had seen from the system that 601 originals were prepared, 27 provisionals, which become originals at the time, 30 draft certificates were also stored. The main users in the moment are South Africa 6, France 2, India 45, Denmark 9, and Finland 1. So far from yesterday, and it's getting more and more every day, we have to say, quickly growing. If you look at the eCertificate system, we have one way, which is the orange way on the left-hand side, and the green way on the right-hand side. The orange is for the labs, the green one for the end users of the certificates. Means people's organizations, authorities, clients who might want to read and compare the eCertificate to what's on the server to verify the data. So I concentrate in the first part on the orange process. For that, if you want to join, before you go onto the system, you have to pass 2 gates, which you don't notice. That is only security up front, and then you are on your platform. But before you can start to go really live, we need a few things from you, and we want you to train on the system. And that is not on the final system. We have a training system set up, and you can train with fake certificates or example certificates, not on the live system, how to use and how to fill these e-certificates. What we need before you go online is a laboratory stamp as a transparent PNG format, the signatures for the people who should sign the certificates at the end, also these signatures as transparent PNGs, and an email address where the PDFs should be sent to with all the information about the certificates. Later, it is should be an email address from the laboratory because you are getting these documents later. And everybody who, if you have more than one signature file, you also get more than one signature codes for each person who can sign, so that the right signature will be displayed from the person who was using the signature, their own signature code. We have two possibilities to fill these certificates. That's manually with typing in the data by hand with an Excel file where you can download your information on the Excel file and then fill one or as much certificates as you have in stock by the Excel file. Afterwards, signature for both needs to be done manually, and that is the final approval. After signing, the uh, e-certificates are stored as PDFs on two servers, and I understood Jan correctly, there may be even a third storage position um, uh, at Algaia itself. Um, that so far. Jan will talk later about the API possibility, which is a fully automated system, and that would be a system for laboratories which have a few hundred certificates in the season every week, where you really want to fill everything automatically um, and sign automatically and get the information back also in an automated way. Now, how to access as a laboratory. You go to the ISTA website, and on the top line you find three parts: view eCertificates, login, and shopping chart. And you go on the login as a laboratory, you put in your credentials. These are fake credentials. We don't have a lab in the United Arab Emirates in the moment. So we use that as credentials in the moment. You go on login, and then you will see the top part on the left-hand side here. You will see ISTA eCertificates here as well, and you can then go and get this overview. If you click on that, there you see how many certificates you have left, oranges and blues, and you can start to create new orange certificates, single or multiple. I would like to share the tutorial video with you. As I mentioned, they're also on the ISTA website, and you can watch them there as well. But let us have a quick look. It was prepared at the beginning of the system when we started to promote it the first time. So it says in future you will be able, as you know now, 9 labs are able to issue e-certificates.
As an ISTA accredited laboratory, you conform to internationally agreed ISTA rules for seed sampling and testing. In compliance with these rules, your laboratory may issue ISTA certificates, which will be available soon as electronic certificates. This tutorial demonstrates how you, as an ISTA accredited laboratory, can generate, fill in, and share an ISTA eCertificate. Log into your laboratory's account. Navigate to ISTA eCertificates. You can now see an overview of all your orange and blue eCertificates. Check their status or view them in detail. In the top row, you can choose from a variety of filtering options. To generate a single new eCertificate, click on Create New eCertificate. Click on Edit and fill in all required information. Note that some boxes specify whether you can input text, numbers, or both. You can save the eCertificate in form of a provisional certificate and add data later to make it an original certificate. The eCertificate number will not change. When done, save your edits. To generate multiple new eCertificates, click Create Multiple New eCertificates. You can now access our Excel template and upload your Excel sheet containing the data for the new certificates. To sign an eCertificate, navigate to the certificate you wish to sign in the Overview page and click on Detail View. Check the form and then click the Sign button. You are now prompted to enter your personal laboratory member code. Your signature is now displayed at the end of the certificate. After signature, the eCertificate is sent by email to the email address you provided when opening your account with ISTA. To share several eCertificates, Select multiple certificates on the overview page and click Share Selected eCertificates. Or click on the Share button in Detail View to share a single eCertificate. All the necessary information is automatically copied to your clipboard. These details and a PDF copy are also sent to you by email. Do you need further help to generate an eCertificate? Please contact audit@ista.ch.
Thank you very much. That was the first part of my presentation. Before we go to the green part of the overview for people who want to view certificates, I would like to invite um, Jan to continue for the automated system.
Yeah, thank you, Andreas. I'm very happy to show you the eCertificates, also how the eCertificates API works. First of all, I do not intend to go too deep into the API code during this webinar. Yeah. So, however, this code here lists the individual fields of the eCertificates along with their corresponding values. Each field has a unique ID that is clearly marked. So you can also see which value belongs to which field. For example, you have here the sampling by, there is a date, and then we have the percentage entered mother for weight. The numbers here are not 0.4 or nothing or TR, etc., etc. The responses show all the possible answers returned by the system. This is very, sorry, I've not moved my cursor here. I will now discuss this code and this one. This is very helpful for the implementation because in this example you can see how the API is structured. The actual code will of course be made available to you in case. Well, the code will be available for you if you are interested in this implementation. The laboratories can create new electronic eCertificates or updating existing ones directly through the REST API, streamlining the eCertificates management. By sending the eCertificates in a JSON format, this request will either create or update the eCertificates in the database, depending if there is already an entry with the given external keys in the database. If one eCertificate has a wrong or not acceptable content or fails, the whole import will be aborted and all failed eCertificates will be locked in the response. That is actually what we can see in this example here. The fields can slightly be styled via API using line breakers, but however, it is not possible to customize the certificates individually through the API. The two API interfaces are very well documented. There are various samples of JSON and XML files that clearly show how each interface is structured. In addition, the most common errors have been documented along with their corresponding solution. So when we scroll up, we can see this is the JSON code documented, and here is the XML code. The same thing here with the solution, with the responses. We have here the XML and we have also the JSON files. Genau. Fundamentally, the API works as follows. Certificates can be created or signed in your system, and afterwards the data is transferred via the API to the website, where it can also be viewed. If there is an interest in using this API interface, please feel free to contact the ISTA Secretariat. Then to sign the eCertificates, it's a separate JSON code that we see here. The electronic certificates can be digitally signed automatically through the API. So you can eliminating the need for the manual processing. A separate API is used for this progress, although it's not as comprehensive as the first one. It proves to be very useful for the subsequent proceeding of the eCertificates. You can also sign multiple eCertificates by sending an external IDs of the eCert to sign, and then the signature codes and the API key. So you can basically you can sign 100 eCertificates at one time with the API, which is very useful to spare some time. Okay, now then to the configuration. The eCertificates that have been signed are automatically sent by email to the responsible person at the laboratory. The eCertificates are sent either as a PDF or as a zip file. The email address is stored and maintained centrally for each laboratory, ensuring that all certificates are delivered consistently. Fundamentally, the process is very similar to the manually recording and signing the eCertificates. The main difference is the complete automation that the API enables. In my opinion, the API makes sense for any laboratory that processes a large number of eCertificates each month or each week, like Andreas said it. To the technical informations, the API provides two REST endpoints, both securely accessed via HTTPS and authenticated with an individual API token. The setup ensures that all communication between the laboratory system and the API is secure and protected against unauthorized access. The data is exchanged in JSON format, as you can see here, offering a structured and standardized approach to handling the eCertificates, which simplifies the integration with existing laboratory IT systems. The data schema closely mirrors the structure of the standard orange and blue certificates, allowing the laboratory to work with familiar formats. In addition, there is an extra field called external ID, which must be provided by the external system. This identifier typically corresponds to the primary key in the laboratory's database and allows for consistent tracking and mapping of the eCertificates between the systems. The API responses are designed to provide clear and detailed feedback for every request. They include confirmations when operations are successful, detailed error information when issues occur, and descriptive messages to help diagnose and resolve problem efficiency. This makes it easier for laboratories to maintain the smooth operations and ensure data integrity throughout the certificate processing workflow. For testing purposes, desktop application such as a Postman, specifically the desktop version, not the web version, can be used to simulate API requests. This allows IT teams to verify the behavior of the API, so they can understand the data flows and troubleshoot potential issues before implementing it on the live version. There's an important note. The Postman is intended slowly for testing and demonstrating purposes. Laboratories handling a high volume of eCertificates will require a dedicated IT solution that is custom developed to integrate seamlessly with their existing infrastructure. Such a solution ensures efficiency, reliability, and a professional management of the certificate processing at scale. supporting the laboratories' op operational and compliant needs. One more word to the handling of the signed e-certificates. Each certificate is automatically sent as a PDF or a zip file to the laboratory email address, which is fixed registered in the system. When multiple e-certificates are signed in a bulk, the system automatically splits the delivery across several emails to ensure a reliable transmission. Und a very important quote is that signed, original signed e-certificates cannot be modified or deleted. And the original signed e-certificates are secretly stored in multiple locations. First of all, in an external ISTA storage system, then in the Allgeier database, so in our database, and additionally in a redundant backup system to ensure the data integrity. Then the process for the laboratory, there are interest in the API. The laboratories initially set up and test the ITA and test the IP integration within a dedicated test environment. This allows IT teams to verify the proper function of the system, simulate various scenarios, and ensure that all workflows operate correctly before moving to the live operation. Testing in this controlled environment helps identify and resolve potential issues without affecting real data or certificate processing. Once testing has been completed successfully and all functions have been validated, the API can be deployed into the production environment. The production environment is also the live environment, and in this live environment, all operations are fully operational and integrated with the laboratory's actual workflows. All transactions performed in the production environment are binding and considered actual purchases. Payments may be made via invoice or credit card, but under no circumstances can these transactions be refunded. There are no test certificates available in the production environment. So if there is any uncertainty regarding the content, validity, or status of its e-certificate, it should remain in either the original draft or provisional state to avoid any errors. Once an e-certificate has been signed, it's going to be deleted or altered. This ensures the integrity, authenticity, and transferability of the certificates, which is critical for regulatory compliance and the laboratory's record-keeping standards. Laboratories should therefore exercise caution on and confirm all details before signing e-certificates in the production environment. That concludes all of my part. For this reason, I would like to hand over to Andreas and want to thank you. Andreas, I think you're muted.
I'm muted, yes. I would like to thank you, Jan, for this overview on the automated system. It may sound for a few people very complicated, but it is not the case. And I think IT people will understand immediately what you are talking about. And this system is actually also for the use, and you need the help of IT staff for this purpose. It is actually the same or very similar to what we know from the OECD Seed Hub and what we know from the ePhyto system. The transfer mechanisms of data are totally similar, and that means they are up to date to current standards. I would like to invite you to put more, or to put at least one question for us in the question and answer box. But meanwhile, I will tell you a little bit if you are a client of a seed lab or an authority and you want to verify the documents in the after these are issued. Could I get the screen, please? Good. You must see my screen now again. And now we are getting on the green part of it. E-certificates are safer, we often say, because they are measures also against fraudulent use of certificates. We had a lot of requests in the past from authorities that they would like to be able to check the validity of the data on the e-certificates and on the paper certificates, um, especially when these data look not very um, promising or very uh, very reliable for to say. And this e-certificate system is giving everybody the possibility to check the data. You remember that on the e-certificates we had the two codes, the OIC or BIC code and an access code. They are important for checking, and I will show you in a minute how that operates. And to check the e-certificates, you go to a read-only area of the hub, and you can only read one at a time. Um, what is important, and I mentioned that before, it is always up-to-date information. So if the laboratory started to issue provisional e-certificate, and in the meantime, when the import is going on, the uh, final original is issued with the same credential data on the provisional, uh, the authorities will then see, or everybody who looks at it will see the original if that is replacing the provisional by that time. So the credentials do not change, even if you have a provisional before and then it gets original, which is probably very helpful because you don't have to send another certificate after the provisional certificate uh, because it is all up-to-date data. Now, you need two codes. That is one, the OIC or BIC code on the top, which is displayed on the PDF, or the certificate access and the certificate access code, which is a random code. You either get them from the e-certificates or from the copied information, which was shared to the clipboard. Then you go, in that case, to the part where it says view e-certificates on the top of the ISTA website, and you enter the e-certificate number and the access code. After that, there will be a display of the e-certificate you asked for. If there's nothing displayed, that means this certificate does not exist. It's not valid. And if different data are on your PDF, which you see, then on the online system, something has been altered on this PDF. Because here on the electronic system, which is displayed for you, all the data are the correct data. So you can verify the data directly. And if you, as an authority or client, would like to file this document, you can either file it as a PDF directly, electronically, or you can file it and print it out as a PDF and file it in a paper version if that is still required in your system. So pretty easy to be handled. And if you need to verify it in a way that it is correct, you can print it out from the system and put a stamp on it and say, that is verified. I was on here, I saw on the electronic system. So that is helping us to ensure that these e-certificates or the certificate system is not fraudulently used, and that makes the system itself safer and more secure in the end. I would like to invite you to look at a short tutorial, which is also be seen on the ISTA website, just how to verify data and look at e-certificates.
Laboratories accredited by ISTA can report their results for seed sampling and testing in compliance with the ISTA rules by issuing an electronic certificate. When an ISTA accredited laboratory or any other third party shares an e-certificate with you, you will receive a link to ISTA's eCertificate site. Enter the certificate number and the access code provided to you. The original eCertificate will be displayed, and you may now verify the authenticity of the eCertificate. The login details can also be found on any PDF copy of this certificate. You can view the eCertificate online, examine the details, and see who signed it. Click the download symbol to save the certificate in PDF format to your device. Do you need further help to view an eCertificate? Please contact audit@ista.ch.
Thank you very much. If there are any questions, we will answer them now. But as mentioned, there are also questions in the Q&A section of the ISTA website, especially for the e-certificates, technically and general questions. We distinguish between them, and you can contact us also at audit@ista.ch at any time and ask questions. Now let us see if there are any questions coming up. We have only one question here. I'm Dr. Salam from Hyderabad, India, working with Catalan Agriculture India Private Limited Green Scale Agro Company. We are involved in seed production, testing, export. I would like to obtain an ISTA e-certificate and explore the process to open a private seed testing lab in Saudi Arabia in collaboration with ISTA. Kindly guide me on the procedure. Please send us on the guidance of opening a laboratory an email, and we will make contact with you. If you want to know more about the procedure, we would advise you to contact the governmental laboratory in Hyderabad, India 39. You find the details, if you don't have them, on the ISTA website if you look for members and go to accredited labs India, and if you find India 39, you can contact them because they can tell you about the e-certificate system a little bit more. And if you need e-certificates, they can even issue one because they are on the live system for the electronic certificates. I hope that answers your question. I don't see any other question. That is a thank you. Good. No other questions. We had a number of other questions in the morning session. I do not remember all of them. I think we answered a few of them during this session as well. Both sessions are recorded and are made available to you. So if you would like to look at the Q&A session of the morning webinar, you will be able to do so on the ISTA YouTube channel. That is in 1 or 2 days. These videos are available for you to view. If there are no further other questions, Nilam and Stella, we're not talking this time because no questions for you, but thank you for being here with us. And people know how they contact and who they talk to by email later. And Jan, thank you for being with us as well from Allgeier. That was a pleasure to have you here and explain the system so people also know who they talk with when they're in contact with you on the automated system. In that case, no further questions were coming in. I tried to give the chance to put some more questions, but nothing is coming in. Then I thank everybody for this very nice session, and I would like to close the session. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.